There are moments in history, divine intersections, when the voice of God rises above the clamor of the world. This isn't just a time to listen, it's a time to move. And that moment is now. If these words are reaching your ears, it is not by chance. You've been drawn here by divine appointment. A shift is coming, something that will alter the course of life, something that will shake the very foundations of the earth. And the Spirit of the Lord is declaring, watch, prepare, take heed. Before April 7, 2025, you must be ready. Throughout time, God has always marked seasons with warnings. He spoke to Noah before the flood. He instructed Joseph to prepare before the famine. He sent prophets before judgment came upon nations. And now he is speaking again. You feel it, the stirring in your soul, the tension in the air? Many have sensed it, a restlessness, a holy discontent, an urgency without explanation. That is the Spirit of God awakening his chosen. Why now? Because the enemy has intensified his schemes. Darkness is moving swiftly, battle lines are being drawn, but God never leaves his people in the dark. He is revealing, he is alerting, he is calling his people to awaken. Don't be like those who sleep through the night unaware. Don't be caught off guard when the hour strikes. April 7, 2025 is not just a date on the calendar, it is a spiritual threshold. For some, it will be the beginning of breakthrough. For others, it may mark the consequence of delay. Where will you stand? Now is the time to seek God like never before, to purify your heart, cleanse your hands, and align yourself with his will. Delay is dangerous. Tomorrow is not promised. Don't say, I'll pray later, or I'll pay attention next time. The trumpet is sounding now. For those who heed the call, God will cover you, open doors no man can shut, and position you for what's ahead. But those who ignore it will carry the weight of their own decisions. Hear this, God does not speak in vain. His word comes with purpose, with urgency, and with eternal consequence. He is the Alpha and Omega, the one who declares the end from the beginning. When he speaks, it's to awaken, to prepare, and to act before the appointed time. Throughout Scripture, we see this pattern. God never sends judgment without first releasing a warning. He warned Noah. He sent angels to Lot. He called prophets to cry out, repent. The time is near. And now he is doing the same. This isn't just another message. This is a divine turning point, a spiritual pivot, a moment where heaven meets earth. The shaking has already begun, both in the natural and the spiritual. Those attuned to the Spirit have felt it. The urgency, the call to draw closer. Some will ignore it, some will scoff, some will say, I've heard this before. But remember, the flood didn't wait for Noah's generation to believe. Fire didn't pause for Sodom's repentance. Divine appointments are not delayed for human comfort. This warning is not to instill fear, it is to offer mercy. God desires to protect, to shelter, to guide. But he won't force you. He won't drag you into the ark. He won't snatch you from the flames. He calls, he waits, but he does not wait forever. This is the moment to lay aside every distraction, every sin, every weight that holds you back. This is the hour to pray, to listen, to obey. The warning is not just for the world, it's for you. Make ready, move, do not delay. The days ahead will unveil much. For some, it will be divine promotion. For others, loss. The difference will be in who prepared and who didn't. The choice is in your hands. God does not move randomly. He moves by divine order, appointed times, prophetic seasons. Every major shift in history happened at his command. The flood, the Exodus, the birth and resurrection of Christ, none were coincidences. So could this be one of those moments? Could we be standing at the brink of something so powerful it will shift destinies and shake nations? The signs are all around us. Jesus himself said there would be signs in the heavens and on the earth. He chastised those who could read the weather but missed the times they were living in. Let us not make the same mistake. Everything is being shaken. Foundations, institutions, relationships, comforts. But this is not destruction. It is preparation. It is a divine shaking to strip away what doesn't belong and make room for what's coming. In every season of revival, the shaking comes first. It happened in Noah's day. It happened in Egypt. It happened at the cross. And now, once again, God is shaking the earth. Do not fear this shaking. Embrace it. It is a sign that God is near. He is removing idols, breaking down false securities, stripping away anything that's not rooted in Him. Why? To awaken His people, to rekindle passion, to restore focus. Many are asking, why is this happening to me? But the real question is, what is God trying to reveal through this? The shaking comes before the outpouring. The breaking comes before the blessing. Don't hold on to the old. Let go. Step into what God is doing now, because those who cling to yesterday will miss the doors being opened today. You are not here by accident. You are not hearing this by coincidence. Heaven is calling. The final call has gone out. The time is short, and the decision is yours. Will you answer? Those who do will walk in divine favor, supernatural protection, and kingdom purpose. You have been chosen. You have been appointed. But now you must respond. Step forward in faith. The shaking is here. The awakening has begun, and the chosen ones must arise. There are many who have felt it but could not explain it. A restlessness in the spirit, a discontent with the ordinary, a stirring that keeps them awake at night and pulls at their heart during the day. They cannot go back to life as it was because something within them knows it is time to move. This is not anxiety, it is not fear, it is the call of the Spirit, the holy alarm sounding within the hearts of those God has marked for this hour. And still, even now, there are some who hesitate. They wonder, is this truly the voice of God? They wait for confirmation, for a sign, for an answer that fits within their comfort zone. But God is not calling you to comfort. He is calling you to obedience. He is not calling you to convenience. He is calling you to consecration. Those who belong to Him must walk by faith, not by sight. And faith requires movement before manifestation, trust before clarity, surrender before reward. This is why many will miss it, not because God did not speak, but because they did not respond. Delay is dangerous. Hesitation is costly. In the realm of the Spirit, obedience is not optional, it is essential. When God says move, there is grace attached to that moment. When He says prepare, there is provision already waiting. But if you wait too long, if you linger at the edge of indecision, the window will close. And what should have been a moment of breakthrough will become a season of regret. There is a reason why spiritual urgency is stirring in the hearts of the remnant. It is not hype. It is not human emotion. It is heaven releasing the alarm for those who will listen. Many are being positioned right now, not through outward elevation, but through inner transformation. The pruning, the pressure, the silence. It has all been preparation. You are being positioned. You are being refined for what cannot be carried by flesh. This next move of God will not be birthed through human strength, but through surrendered vessels. The spotlight is shifting. The stage is being cleared of the performers, and God is raising up those who have been hidden in the secret place. They may not have platforms, they may not have titles, but they have fire, they have oil, they have obedience, and when the time comes, they will not need to announce themselves. The Spirit of God will confirm them. God is not looking for the loudest voice. He is looking for the purest heart. He is not impressed by public performance. He is moved by private obedience. Many have labored in silence. They have walked through seasons of testing, of isolation, of loss. And though the world did not see them, heaven did. Their tears were not wasted. Their sacrifices were not overlooked. Their yes was not forgotten. In due time, what was sown in the dark will bear fruit in the light. We are standing at the brink of divine distinction. God is separating. He is dividing light from darkness, holy from profane, consecrated from compromise. This separation is not cruelty, it is protection. He is pulling his people out of the noise, out of the crowd, out of the familiar, because he desires to reveal his glory through them. But he cannot pour fresh oil into vessels that are contaminated with mixture. He is calling for purity. He is calling for total surrender. And yes, it will cost something. Obedience always costs. You may have to leave places that once felt like home. You may have to walk away from connections that no longer carry the Spirit. You may have to say no to opportunities that appeal to the flesh but would compromise your call. But hear this. Whatever you leave for God, he will restore with greater. Whatever you sacrifice in obedience, he will honor in due season. For he is not unjust. He remembers those who trust him. There are divine alignments being orchestrated even now. Heaven is connecting people by assignment, not by popularity. Kingdom partnerships are being birthed. Ministries, movements, mandates that were ordained before the foundation of the world, and many of these will not look like what we've seen before. They will break the mold. They will disrupt tradition. They will offend the religious spirit. Because what God is doing cannot be contained by old wineskins. Some of you have been trying to fit into spaces God never assigned to you. You've been shrinking to be accepted, silencing your voice to keep the peace, hiding your fire to stay comfortable. But no more. The Spirit of God is saying, come out, come up, come forth. You were not created to blend in. You were not designed to live beneath your calling. You were chosen for such a time as this, not to survive, but to shift atmospheres, not to impress, but to impact. This is why the warfare has been so intense. The enemy fears what you carry. He knows what's on the other side of your obedience. He cannot stop what God has ordained, but he can try to distract you, discourage you, delay you. He fills your mind with fear. He fills your days with chaos. He tempts you with shortcuts that would rob you of true authority. But the weapons may form, they will not prosper. You were born for this, anointed for this, prepared for this. You must stop waiting for external validation. Stop waiting for people to understand your call. They weren't there when God spoke to you in the quiet place. They didn't see the battles you had to fight just to stay standing. And they will not determine your destiny. God does. And when God calls you, you don't need the permission of men. You need faith. You need obedience. You need focus. Because what's ahead will require you to move with boldness, even when the path is unfamiliar. There is no more time for double-mindedness, no more time for lukewarm living, no more time for partial obedience. God is calling for a consecrated people, a holy priesthood set apart for his purposes. And those who respond will carry a weight of glory that cannot be manufactured. They will speak with authority that comes not from charisma, but from communion. They will walk in power because they have walked through the fire and come out refined. Many of you have been hidden, but that hiding was holy. It was sacred. It was where God stripped away the noise and taught you to hear his voice. It was where he broke your pride and filled you with his Spirit. And now as the hour approaches, he is saying, come forth, not in your own strength, but in mine. Not in your own name, but in mine. Because what I have placed in you is for such a time as this. You do not need to strive. You need to surrender. You do not need to prove yourself. You need to position yourself. For what is about to be released will not be earned. It will be entrusted. And God is not looking for perfection. He is looking for availability, a willing heart, a surrendered vessel, one who will say, here I am, Lord, send me. The earth is groaning. Creation is crying out. The signs are everywhere. Wars, rumors of war, shaking in governments, division in nations. But in the midst of the chaos, God is moving. He is setting apart his people. And while the world may panic, the remnant will rise. They will not be shaken. They will not be moved because they are rooted in the unshakable kingdom. This is your moment. You've felt it building. You've sensed the urgency. You've seen the signs. The door is open. The trumpet has sounded. Heaven is watching. The Spirit is stirring. The time is now. Will you answer? Will you obey? Will you let go of the old wineskin? Will you trust God even when the road ahead is unfamiliar? This is not the time to shrink back. This is not the time to second guess the voice of the Lord. This is the moment to step into everything you were created for, to rise, to shine, to move in the authority that has been prepared for you. The call has gone forth, not to the crowds, but to the consecrated, not to the comfortable, but to the courageous, the ones who will not bow to the culture, the ones who will not compromise for convenience, the ones who have been tried in the fire and come out with oil. And to you, beloved, I say, you are that one. You are the one God has chosen. You are the one He has been preparing. You are the one the enemy has tried to silence, to discourage, to destroy, because he saw what you could not yet see. But the time of hiding is over. The time of fear is over. The time of delay is over. Now is the time to walk in your calling. Now is the time to break free from every weight, every lie, every chain that has tried to hold you back. Now is the time to lift your eyes to heaven, fix your gaze on the one who called you and say, not my will, but yours be done. Because what God is about to do through you will not be small. It will not be ordinary. It will not be explainable in human terms. It will be divine, supernatural, eternal. The hour is short. The window is narrow. But for those who are ready, for those who will rise, respond, and run into the call, the glory of God will be revealed like never before. You've asked for confirmation, but the confirmation has already been given. It is in the stirring you cannot shake. It is in the doors that have closed and the ones that have not yet opened. It is in the divine discomfort, the holy discontent, the sense that something is shifting beneath your feet. You do not need another sign. You need to move with what you already know. You need to trust the voice that has been whispering to you in the stillness, in the silence, in the sacred spaces that no one else sees. There is a fire being reignited. For too long, many have settled for sparks when they were called to burn. They've grown used to flickers instead of flames. But the Lord is saying, I am rekindling the fire, not a fire of hype or performance, but a fire of purity, a fire that consumes compromise, a fire that drives out apathy, a fire that fuels the remnant to move with holy passion, to walk in righteous boldness, to speak the truth, even when it costs them everything. This is not the hour to blend in. The world does not need more imitation. It needs consecration. It needs distinction. It needs those who have been in the presence of the King and carry His scent. It needs those who have not bowed to Baal, who have not drunk from the wells of cultural compromise, who are willing to stand when others kneel and to kneel when others mock. This is the call to come out from among them and be separate, not to be arrogant, but to be holy, not to be prideful, but to be filled. There is a rising coming, not of those with influence in the world's systems, but of those with authority in the Spirit. These will not need applause. They will not need platforms. They will not need the validation of man, because heaven has already approved them. They have been trained in the wilderness. They have been refined in the furnace. They have been prepared in the place of anonymity. And now they will emerge, not with noise, but with fire. Not with fanfare, but with fruit. You have felt alone, but you are not alone. The enemy has whispered that you are abandoned, that you are forgotten, but he is a liar. What looked like isolation was divine insulation. God was keeping you hidden not because you were unworthy, but because you were not yet ready. Not because He had forgotten, but because He was forming. And now the preparation is complete. The time is upon you. The stage of obscurity is giving way to the season of fulfillment. The hour demands a people who are fully yielded, Not half-hearted, not lukewarm, not 1 foot in and 1 foot out. It requires those who will say yes when it's costly, yes when it's inconvenient, yes when it makes no sense to the natural mind. Heaven is not looking for the most talented, the most educated, or the most polished. It is looking for the most surrendered. God uses the broken, the humble, the overlooked. He anoints the ones others rejected. He crowns the ones who bowed in the secret place. If you have been through the crushing, understand this. The crushing was for the oil. The breaking was for the blessing. The pressure was for the preparation. You were not being punished. You were being trusted. God does not waste pain. He uses it. He shapes you with it. He strengthens you through it. Every tear was counted. Every battle was seen. Every moment of surrender is now bearing eternal weight. What you thought would destroy you was actually shaping the mantle you now carry. And still, the Spirit says, come deeper. There is more. There is always more, not more striving, not more performing, but more surrender, more presence, more alignment. This is not the time to coast. It is not the time to be casual. It is time to return to the altar, to rebuild what has been neglected, to fan into flame the gift of God, to weep between the porch and the altar, to cry out not for blessings, but for His presence, to say once again, create in me a clean heart, O God, renew a right spirit within me. There are things you once tolerated that you can no longer excuse, things that once seemed small but now carry too much weight. The Spirit is shining light in the hidden places, not to shame you, but to free you. He is calling for clean hands and pure hearts, not perfection but purity, not performance but repentance. There is a cry rising from heaven for the people of God to return to the secret place, to the first love, to the fear of the Lord. For too long the church has been asleep, entertained by shadows, lulled into complacency by comfort and compromise. But the alarm is sounding, and those who have ears to hear must respond. The shaking is not to destroy, it is to wake up those who have slumbered under the weight of distraction. It is the mercy of God to allow the foundations of the familiar to tremble, so that what cannot be shaken may remain. He is removing what is built on sand, so that only what is rooted in Him will stand. Do not mourn what God is removing. Do not cling to what He is shaking loose. Let go of what once served you, but no longer sustains you. Let go of what was good for a season, but is now hindering your obedience. The new cannot come while your hands are full of the old. He is requiring a deeper yes now, a yes that costs more than before, a yes that may isolate you, a yes that may separate you, a yes that will align you with divine appointments and pull you away from what is familiar. The price of obedience is rising, but so is the glory. This is not the season for shallow waters. The Spirit is calling you into the deep, into the mystery, into the places where flesh cannot follow. You must leave the safety of the shore to walk on what others drown in. You must fix your eyes not on what is seen, but on the one who calls you forward. This is not the time to be swayed by emotion or led by opinion. This is the time to be anchored in the truth. The storms will come, the winds will blow, but those who are rooted in the Word and grounded in intimacy will not be moved. The Lord is fortifying His people. He is strengthening their resolve. He is releasing discernment, not natural wisdom, but spiritual sight to see beyond the surface. For many will be deceived in this hour, swayed by flattering words and false peace. But those who dwell in the secret place will not be misled. They will walk in clarity when others are confused. They will stand in peace when others are in panic. You are not being called to react, you are being called to respond. To move not by impulse, but by instruction. To move not in fear, but in faith. The Lord is speaking clearly to those who have postured themselves to listen. He is not silent, He is selective. He is not distant, He is drawing close to the ones who draw near. And what He reveals in the quiet must not be delayed in the light. The time between revelation and obedience must shorten. The delays that once were tolerated are no longer permissible. Every instruction matters. Every step is significant. There are doors that will only open through obedience. There are keys that only respond to faith. You cannot fast your way around what only obedience will unlock. You cannot pray your way out of what only surrender will solve. This is the hour for action. Not impulsive action, but precise alignment. Delayed obedience is still disobedience. Half steps will not suffice. God is not interested in part of your heart. He wants it all. And when you give him your all, he will show you his glory. There are promises that have been delayed, not because God changed his mind, but because you paused when he said go. There are dreams that remain dormant, not because the enemy stole them, but because fear kept you from moving forward. But even now, the mercy of God is reaching. Even now, the invitation is being extended again. He has not changed his plan. He has not withdrawn his word. The door is not yet closed, but it will not stay open forever. There is still time to obey, still time to align, still time to move. But you must act, you must choose, you must surrender fully. There is a cost to delay. There is a weight to hesitation. For some, the window will not come again in the same way. Divine appointments do not wait for convenience. Destiny is not shaped around comfort. God's plan does not bend to the rhythms of fear or flesh. He is moving, and if you do not move with him, you will be left watching from a distance what you were meant to walk in. You will witness what you were called to release. And that grief will be heavier than any sacrifice, obedience ever asked of you. The fire is falling, but it will only rest on the altar. If there is no altar, there will be no fire. If there is no sacrifice, there will be no presence. The Lord is looking for places to rest. He is seeking hearts that are wholly his. Not those who want him only when it benefits them, but those who will love him in the secret, follow him in the silence, and obey him even when the reward is not immediate. He is searching for those who will build an altar, not for blessing, but for worship, who will say, I am the offering, I am the sacrifice, I withhold nothing. It is in this posture that glory descends. It is from this place that authority flows. Not borrowed authority from someone else's encounter, but real authority born from the crushing, the pressing, and the yes that no one else saw. Heaven responds to yielded vessels. And in this hour, heaven is responding. The remnant is rising. The chosen are awakening. The sound of surrender is rising from the earth. And it is shaking the gates of hell. It is shifting the atmosphere. It is making way for what eyes have not seen and ears have not heard. The old order is passing away. The religious systems are crumbling. The empires built by pride are collapsing. But what is being born in this moment is not man-made. It is not political. It is not denominational. It is the kingdom. It is the unshakable rule of God taking root in surrendered hearts. It is the rising of a generation that will not compromise, that will not bow, that will not retreat. A generation that walks in power because they have walked in the fire, that carries glory because they have chosen the narrow road. You are part of that generation. You are the answer to someone's cry. You are the voice in the wilderness. You are the one who carries what this world desperately needs. But it must be awakened. It must be stirred. It must be released. And it cannot be released while you are entangled in lesser things. You must come out from the clutter. You must break free from the cycles. You must step beyond the borders of what feels safe. God is not calling you to live a safe life. He is calling you to live a surrendered one. And in your surrender, there will be power. Not the power of prestige or position, but the power to heal, to deliver, to shift atmospheres, to confront darkness and carry light. This is not about building a platform. It is about advancing the kingdom. It is not about gathering fans. It is about making disciples. The mandate is not to be seen. It is to be sent. The harvest is ready, the field is ripe, and the laborers must rise. You've been trained in obscurity for such a time as this. The hidden seasons were not wasted. The wilderness was your training ground. The breaking was your preparation. And now the Lord is saying, come forth, step out, do not shrink back, do not delay. What you carry is needed. What he has placed in you was for this hour. You were born for now. You were called for now. Everything has led to this moment. Every yes, every no, every battle, every breakthrough. This is your appointed time. The threshold is before you. The heavens are open and the call is clear. Yield fully, move quickly, obey completely. And more is yet to come. Let me know if you'd like this compiled into a single formatted document or extended even further. You're just under 3,000 words now across the full message so far. I can keep going to finish the final stretch or shape it for delivery, whatever you need. So now, beloved, the time of decision is upon you. The weight of this moment cannot be overstated. Heaven has spoken, the trumpet has sounded, the Spirit has stirred, and now the question remains, not whether God will move, but whether you will move with him. Not whether the shaking will continue, but whether you will be found unshaken. Not whether the door is open, but whether you will walk through it. You are not hearing this by chance. You are not standing at this crossroads by accident. The hand of God has brought you here, and the eyes of heaven are watching for your response. What you do now matters. How you respond in this hour matters. For eternity is being written in these small, trembling moments of obedience. The call has gone forth, not to the many, but to the willing. Not to the crowds, but to the committed. And if you say yes, if you surrender, if you obey, if you move when he says move, then you will see the hand of God do what no man can do. You will walk in power, you will move in purpose, you will be hidden in his protection, and you will be positioned for such a time as this. Do not delay, do not hesitate, do not look back. The past is over, the old is gone. What lies ahead is holy ground. And it has been prepared for those who will say yes without conditions. The time is now. The moment is here. And the voice of the Lord is calling. Will you answer? Then arise, step forward, move in faith, obey with courage, and watch as the fullness of God's purpose unfolds before your very eyes. You were born for this. The shaking is here, the awakening has begun, and the chosen must arise. Now,